Did the last voyage of the Demeter have enough bite to make a mark, or was it toothless? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, I just saw the last voyage of the Demeter, and this is going to be a non-spoiler reaction and mini review. I was really excited to see this movie. I'm a big fan of vampire films and especially the lore of Dracula. And of course, this story is basically a retelling of one of the chapters in Bram Stoker's Dracula, the novel. Had a really cool cast. You had Corey Hawkins, Liam Cunningham, Aisling Franciosi, and David Dasmalkian. And I think that all four of these actors did a really good job with what they had. I think the standouts were Corey Hawkins and David Dasmalkian. They really had a lot to work with in this film. This is a moody, atmospheric film. It has a lot of character development, setting up the story beforehand. If you've seen the trailers, then you've already got a little bit of an idea how this movie plays out. You've got Dracula, who is aboard the ship and taking people out one by one, hidden in the darkness and the shadows, and of course a whole bunch of storms. There's like a storm every hour that this ship has to endure. It was pretty crazy. But I will say that there were things that didn't work as well for me. The movie was about 2 hours long, and it felt like the pacing might have been off a little bit. This probably could have been cut by at least 15 or 20 minutes, I think, and it might have been a tighter runtime, a tighter story. Now, there were a couple things that happened in the film that I was shocked by. There was one particular thing, and I will not give the exact spoiler, but you'll know when it happens, maybe about halfway through the film, where something happens to a character, and I was thinking, wow, they really went there. And they truly did. They truly went there. So that was kind of a little bit of a shock. There were good story beats between the characters. I really thought that it was enjoyable because of the fact that I'm a fan of the source material and of vampire films. The only thing that I would warn people is when you're in the theater, there were some scenes that seemed to be a little too dark. You're kind of trying to see what's going on, and I've said this before with some films, and I don't know why when doing scenes that are at night or in dark places that the filmmakers don't make sure that you can at least see enough of what's going on with the characters. So there were scenes, because you're on the ship and there's a lot of scenes that take place at night, obviously, because that's when Dracula is on the hunt. And there are scenes below deck. There's a bunch of different cabins, and it's like a friggin' maze inside of that ship down below. But there were some scenes where it was a little bit difficult to see what was going on. And the other side of that was that there were some scenes where that was kind of cool as far as Dracula, not just showing him, super right there in your face. It was kind of cool because he was very much like a ghost, like boom, you see him, then you don't. So that was kind of cool in a way. But again, the film had some interesting stuff, had pretty good atmosphere. The director, Andre Avdal, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm probably not. But the idea of doing this movie has been around for a long time. And at one point, from what I understand, Guillermo del Toro was attached to do it, and he had scheduling things going on and so forth. But he did give his blessing to the director. And of course, this director, by the way, directed The Autopsy of Jane Doe in 2016, I believe, and that is a really good movie. I really enjoy that film so much. So underrated. Not many people talk about it. At some point I've got to talk more about it. But yeah, that was pretty much it. The ending of the film went a little bit differently than I thought it would, because obviously if you know the story from all the different iterations of the lore of Dracula, you kind of know what's going to happen. But I will say they did a couple of different things near the end, and at the very end there was kind of that moment where it was like, aha, okay, I see what you're doing there. and we'll see what happens with that. But overall, it was enjoyable. This is the type of movie that if you go in and you don't have your expectations all the way up to the ceiling, you're going to enjoy it. It's a good popcorn film going into the theater. The lights are off, and we definitely saw some reactions from some people that were like, "Oh, and some gross moments, gross out moments, and stuff like that." So in that sense, it was pretty enjoyable. Not at the top of my list. It's probably going to be a movie that I'm going to watch again once it comes out on physical media, just to kind of see if I can absorb more of it. But definitely some missed opportunities. I will say there were missed opportunities, but I do give credit to the actors, especially the four leads, for doing a good performance with what they had as far as what their characters were. So, anyways, guys, let me know what you thought of The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Did you see it? What did you think of it? Did it live up to your expectations for a vampire film, especially when you're talking about Dracula himself? I will say this. It was good to see a Dracula film in the theater that was really dark and creepy and atmospheric and gruesome and gory. That was great. That was really, really cool. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to hit the like button. It helps to support the channel, and I'd appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the Night Watch Zone, do it. This is the time to do it. So, I'll catch you guys later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.